Wow.
Inside, bringing hope and make you feel alright. Rainbow, the promise, the future, and life. Love is light that's within me, shine to the whole world, whole world. Light, let the dawn of a new day bring understanding and love. Hope inside, inside, yeah. Inside,
You're welcome.
bringing hope and make you feel alright. Rainbow, the promise, the future, and life. Let the light that's within me shine to the whole world, whole world. Light, let the dawn of a new day bring understanding and love. Hope inside, inside, yeah. Inside, inside, bringing hope and make you feel alright. Rainbow, the promise, the future, and life.
You're welcome.
Thank
you. Already, thank you.
To the whole world, whole world. Light, let the dawn of a new day bring understanding and love. Hope inside.
You're welcome. Yes. Another beautiful day. You're welcome. Welcome to Inside with FunmiRoyal this beautiful Thursday evening. It's evening where I am. Could be morning where you are. I greet you. You're welcome. 3HD, Alina, thanks for joining. Manager, thanks for joining. You're welcome today. Help to share this live. Today, let's share because I have a very interesting topic we're going to be talking about today. And like I said, I don't have all the answers. I want to learn from you, and I want to trust you want to learn one or two things from me as well. You're welcome to Inside with FunmiRoyal. Please help to like and share to as many people as possible. Today, I have a very interesting topic. So I'm going to be, playing the song and waiting for maybe another couple of minutes, and then we'll go into it because I'll be here till 8. Except if I meet my goal today, I might stay a bit longer. So that's the deal. Otherwise, thank you, Jimmy, for joining. You're welcome. Much love from FunmiRoyal. Thank you for joining. Please tap, share to as many people as possible. And I'd love to hear from you today. Interesting topic. On Inside today, we'll be looking into marriage and relationships, because there's a lot going on out there. People in marriage, people planning to get married, people thinking about getting married. You're welcome, Mary. God bless you. You're welcome. So it's a wide topic, to look into. And like I said, I'm here to learn from you. If you have experiences you want to share, or if you have one or two things or perspectives you want to share with us. Thanks, Marian, for joining. Thanks, Jayhan 2095. Thanks for joining. Please tap. Let's like and share this live. Thank you so much. So I will be bringing people on later on so that we can air our views together. I want to learn from you. What do you think about this topic when we're talking about marriage and relationships? You know, it's very crucial. We know that the family makes a unit and people come together, you know, in holy matrimony and try to build a home and try to raise family and all of that. So today, the topic is rules in marriage. Are there rules in marriage? Where did these rules come from? Is it the husband and wife that creates these rules? And mind you, I'm coming from a perspective of a faith-based perspective because I'm a Christian and this is what I know and this perspective is what I'm bringing, and everybody can learn whether you're a Christian, a Muslim, or you don't even believe in God or anything at all. It's fine. You're welcome. It's all about love and positivity on this platform. So once again, I say welcome to Inside with FunmiRoyal. Thank you, what? Thank you for joining. And you know what? I like to, you know, make things fun as well. We don't want to get all serious here. We're going to have a bit of fun. And as usual, I have my puzzle today. So last week, the puzzle, nobody got it. So nobody got my donut and my 2 ice cream. You know, it's dessert for the evening, like I said. And I've brought it back again this week. Our puzzle will come on later on. I want to believe you guys have gone to do your research and you have the answer to my puzzle today. So fingers crossed, and I'm hopeful. I want to believe somebody will get it in here today. Thank you, Efo, for joining. Thank you so much. Please, let's tap. Let's like, let's share to other people as well to be part of this program today. Yes, it's Inside with FunmiRoyal, and like I said, today we're looking at the topic rules in marriage. Who makes these rules? Exactly, who makes these rules? Okay, if you can hear me loud and clear, I want to see a thumbs up in the chat. Let's see a thumbs up. Just put a thumbs up in the chat. Thank you so much, Himis. Thanks for joining. Don't worry, I'm going to invite you on later on. And like I said, it's not a battlefield here. We're not doing any match. We're not doing any battle. We're just here to learn from one another. Rules in marriage. Who made these rules? I really want us to, you know, talk about it. But I want to go into it really because there has to be rules that will govern us. Otherwise, everyone in the marriage or both parties will just, you know, do things the way they deem fit, and it might work for the spouse, it might not work, and we don't want to create chaos. And peradventure, maybe things are a bit wobbly in your relationship at the moment. Please grab a chair and sit down. Let's really look in depth into this. Like I said, I'm here to learn, and I'll share what I feel as well. So it's a platform of positivity and love. We want to rub off on each other, and I really am grateful for TikTok giving people the opportunity to be a help, you know, to other people. It's really a good thing. So let's go on this right today. Don't forget my puzzle is coming on later. Thank Avo for joining. Thank you so much. We're looking at the rules in marriage. Okay. So I'm going to start off. When we talk about rules in marriage, I believe it involves discussing the principles and guidelines that contribute to a healthy and fulfilling marital relationship between a husband and a wife. However, there are basic rules, you know, that are the bedrock values and principles in marriage, in any marriage relationship anywhere in the world, which should help build a strong foundation and a strong marriage relationship. It's amazing, honestly. Like I said, where there is no rule, there is no law, a lot is bound to happen. I'm Jack. You're welcome. God bless you. God bless you. Thanks for joining it today. This is Inside with FunmiRoyal, and I'm sure you can see it up there. So thanks for joining. Let's tap, and like, and let's share to as many people as possible. Omo Labake, you are welcome. Dilke or Duke, whichever way. Thanks for joining. I really appreciate it. So when we're talking about rules in marriage, like I said, there's some basic rules that governs marriages all over the world, wherever you are, whether you're Asian, you're Africa, you're in America, you're in Oceania, or wherever you are, there's some basic rules in marriage that we kind of imbibe into our relationship so things can work smoothly. And even regardless of that, issues still come up that may appear like a dilemma, and husband and wife cannot see eye to eye with these issues. We're here to, talk about these things. We don't want to shy away from it, because when there's no peace in the home, it will affect the couples, it will affect the children, and it will affect the community at large. Thank you, Shadi Banks, for joining. Thank you so much. You're welcome. So, today, the rules of marriage, or the rules in marriage, whichever one you want to, just an introduction to it. Do we understand, that we need to put these rules in place? Thank you, Bukola Ade, for joining. Thank you so much. Do we understand that we need to put that in place? So there are a few things I'm going to kind of highlight. There's so many. Like I said, we just want to look at some basic rules in marriage that can help. Maybe you're planning to get married next week and you've not really thought about this. You've not really sat with your spouse to actually talk about things. Okay, when we get married, what are the rules we're going to abide by so that things can run smoothly? Because everybody's in love. Love is in the air, as they say, and we just roll along with things. And as challenges come, it's like we're not kind of equipped to handle it together. So let's look at certain points, perspective. And like I said, I'm looking forward to hearing from you as well. What's your perspective about the rules in marriage? So one of the things that I would point out today is mutual respect. Everyone deserves respect. Whether you're older than your spouse, whatever the situation, everyone deserves respect. And it's not something that maybe even if the woman is much older than the guy, or for whatever reason say, oh, I deserve more respect because you're younger to my age or whatever. In certain cultures, you only get respect because you're older or you're the older person in a relationship. It doesn't work like that. This marriage forms the union of two people who they fell in love, and they feel that their values in life, their principles in life cannot, go together, and they want to build a home from there. And they ask each other, would you marry me? Yes, I will. Will you marry me? Yes, I will. And they start making plans, planning, picking a date for their actual wedding day, or if it's an engagement or whatever, all the ceremony that comes, and the euphoria of joy and happiness and love. And the reality sometimes is kind of pushed aside. So we're going to be looking at that. So mutual respect. We should respect each other's values, each other's opinion, each other's feelings, because we're both human. Whether you're a man or a woman, you got feelings. Whether you express it or not, we have feelings. We need to understand that there are boundaries. There should be certain boundaries. Don't get me wrong. There should be certain boundaries also when you're talking about mutual respect. You don't speak to your spouse anyhow. You don't treat them anyhow and expect to be treated with respect. It is reciprocal. Whatever you feel you deserve, give it to the other person. So I feel mutual respect anywhere, any marriage in the world will really appreciate that. And also another thing I'll look into is effective communication. It goes a long way. And that's why sometimes you will see some beautiful couple from two nations. They don't speak the same language. Well, if they're lucky, they get to speak English, because English is really common in most nations. And imagine one spouse trying to learn the other spouse's language because of love, because of values they share, because of principles of life that they share together. Thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it. Let's tap. Let's take this to 20K today. Last week we were about 16 point something K, but I believe before 8 o'clock today we will touch 20K. Touchdown, yes. Touchdown today, 20K. Let's like and tap, share, please. Shine to the whole world, whole world. Love.
at the dawn of a new day. Bring understanding and love.
Yes, understanding and love is what we need. We need to communicate with one another because sometimes we feel, oh, I know this person so well. I know what they're thinking. Or the other spouse will think, I don't even know what they're thinking. Or they're expecting me to do certain things. But you don't verbally communicate. Oh, thank you so much, Mary, for the gift. You don't even know what the other person is thinking. How can you know? You have to communicate. Because even if the person is trying to assume, this is what I think my spouse is thinking or wanting me to do, they'll just be assuming, you know. Sometimes they even go as far, you're welcome, Tola. They would ask, you know, and you can't even put into words what you require from your spouse. It's going to create a bit of chaos if care is not taken. So effective communication in marriage is very crucial. Both of you should engage in verbal conversations, even non-verbal as well. Imagine you go to a party and you're there with your husband or your wife, everybody, you know, in the party mode and all of that. And then especially when you feel, okay, we've seen the party, we've enjoyed the party, it's time to go. And you just look at your spouse and, you know, you do your head non-verbal communication, and your spouse immediately gets it like, okay, it's time to go. Thank you, Jodo, for coming in. They get you because you have your non-verbal communication. So if that is so effective, you don't have to speak. It is so effective. Now imagine how effective it will be when you actually say those words out. Oh my dear, you've hurt me. I feel this, or this is that. It goes a long way so that your spouse can understand you and things can go smoothly. Sometimes they argue. We disagree to agree, as they say. Thank you so much. Thanks. You're welcome, Denise. Let's tap, tap, tap and share to as many people as we can. And when you're communicating, you can communicate your thoughts, your feelings, and be open and honest. You know, this is your person. This is your partner for life. Your partner at communicating whatever. You know, there's certain communications for certain people. But with your spouse, you should be open totally, 100%. No hiding of anything, because we want to be open to trueness, if you get me, so that trust is not broken, so we know what is happening with our spouse at all times, because we are their number one person. They are our number one person. So another thing that I will highlight in rules in marriage is commitment. This is huge. Commitment. And because sometimes we'll see, it depends on where this spouse grew up. Maybe the level of commitment in the environment they grew up is not all that solid. You will see some lapses in the way. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I've achieved one goal. Thank you so much. Shadi Banks, thanks for liking the live. Thank you so much. Let's share to as many people as possible. Let's tap on our screen. Let's tap. Take the likes to 20 today if we can. You know, and when we're not committed, or one spouse is not committed, you know, it's not balanced. It's going to affect the relationship. And if children are in this situation, they're looking and saying, oh, is it mommy? She's not a committed person. Or is it daddy? Not a committed person. And these children are looking and they're learning from us. What are we passing on to the children as well when children are in the marriage? So we need to be careful. So we need to be committed. You know, you have to be dedicated to each other in that relationship, prioritizing one another first so you can have a successful home, a successful marriage. Okay, you have to be loyal. You know, you cannot betray your spouse. I think there was an incident one time where a third party came in and was saying all sorts about one of this couple, the spouse. And the spouse said, oh, no, not my wife. He defended his wife, that not my wife and all. And then afterwards, when the person left, they had a sit down with their spouse to say, this person has come with this allegation and I had to fight them off and all of that. And in fairness, the wife actually confessed that actually happened. But the spouse looked out for her. The husband looked out, you know, shielded them from that trouble that was coming, and of course they came up with a better way of handling that situation. Does your spouse have your back? Are they loyal to you? Are you loyal to your spouse? Do you preserve them when challenges come? Do you feel the need to shield them, to protect them, so you have a sustaining and a long-lasting relationship? Like I said, I'm not going to say all the rules that I feel there are. There may be some I'm probably not going to mention today, but there's some basic rules in marriage that even if you're anywhere in the world, it would be appropriate to look into that. Then another thing we'll look at is trust and transparency. I mentioned that briefly, trust. Because if a husband does not trust a wife and a wife does not trust a husband, how can they build together? Everyone looking over their shoulder, oh, what are they doing now? Because they will lie or whatever it is. That will not promote oneness in that home. It will not. Thank you, Amisco, for joining. Thank you, Louisa. Thank you so much for joining. Let's tap up and like and share this live. Thank you so much. So trust and transparency. Your spouse, do they trust you? Can they trust you 24/7 that what you're doing or what you're saying is the absolute truth? Is there transparency in your marriage, or you're the one that's always hiding things and you don't tell them? Even when your spouse comes to ask, oh, I noticed something, you just kind of brush it aside and say, oh, never mind. Are you transparent in your marriage? This should be the foundation of building a strong and secure relationship. And what you don't give, you just might not get it back. And then what are we trying to build in this relationship? So we need to be mindful. Can we trust one another? And if you feel there's an issue of trust, why not sit down and talk about it? I don't feel I can trust you because of this, that, and that, in the simplest, calmest way that you can, because things could have escalated and now you're so angry and upset and you just dish it out as angry as you are, very hot, dishing it out hot, and your partner is probably not going to listen, or it will just blow up to be something that you didn't plan for it to be. So let's be mindful. Even if you feel your partner is not showing this trust you're talking about, sit them down, let them know. Remember, we talked about communication, effective communication, and then what they have to say, you know where to go from there. So encourage each other to be honest, to be forthcoming. If they say yes, meet it as yes. If they say no, you should meet it as no. Trust and transparency is very important. You must be able to trust one another, and this can help foster a good environment. Mutual trust between husband and wife is quite a very important thing. I'll move on quickly to compromise and collaboration. Compromise. We need to remember that we all grew up differently. Even twins, their experience of life in the same household might just be different. So you have to learn to compromise with your spouse. Otherwise, there'll be chaos all the time. Alfie, you're welcome. God bless you. There might just be chaos all the time. You cannot collaborate, put heads together to achieving a goal for your family. One is going A, the other is going Z. And it's like, for years and years, we haven't been able to achieve a common goal or something like that because you're not compromising, you're not collaborating with your spouse. It's very key that compromise and collaboration is put into the rules of marriage, because sometimes we will not see eye to eye. Does not mean it's a bad idea. The other spouse might just not see it at that point in time. So we need to learn to compromise. Let's come together, put heads together. You bring your A, I'll bring my B. Together we have AB, and then we're in the middle and we're both okay. It's balanced that way, okay? And we need to encourage each other to find common grounds, negotiate our differences and work together towards a mutually beneficial solution. It's not always easy. Welcome, Prankster, you're welcome. It's not always easy, especially when you're the one always compromising and the other party, they seldomly would compromise. After a while, you might just get tired and you don't even want to talk anymore, and things will start escalating. We just hope it doesn't get there. But even if it's there right now, even if you feel for weeks or days you haven't talked with your spouse, Why not try? Be the bigger person, as they say. Thank you, Beta, for coming in. Thank you, Tilani, for coming in. Be the bigger person. Try this approach. Be ready that you want to compromise. Sit down and have this talk together. It's very crucial that we negotiate our differences, because not all the time you're going to agree on a certain thing you want to do together, especially. And this calls for a time to compromise and collaborate together. Thank you, Wonder Woman. So another point I'll mention is support and encouragement. Look, in a marriage relationship, if every other person fights me, I don't care, as long as my husband is for me. Everybody fights him, he doesn't care, as long as I am for him. Because life will bring challenges, trust me. Thank you, Zara, for coming. Thank you for joining. Let's tap. Let's take it to 20 likes today. We're just about 10%, 2.0. Thank you for all those who have been tapping. I really appreciate that. So support and encouragement. Do you support your spouse, or is it one-sided? Is it one-sided? One person always supporting the other person, and the other party just feels it is theirs to enjoy, just support. That's your role, or whatever it is. It has to be both ways. You encourage her, she encourages you when you're doing whatever. You need to discuss these things. Again, coming back to communication. Thank you, Sijab. Thank you for coming. So how do you support one another? How do you encourage one another? Because it's very crucial in marriage. If everybody fails you, not your spouse, if everybody abandons you, not your spouse, you don't want that, because that will really hurt deeply. Michael King, you're welcome. Thanks for joining the live. Let's tap and share this live today. So, are we supportive when it comes to our spouses? Are we encouraging them, or we discourage them? Thank you, RQ, for joining. Please, let's tap and share the live, because sometimes some spouse feel, I'm here, I'm in this marriage, you should know I support you, you should know that I encourage you. But then when it comes to the time that you really need to feel that support, you just feel somewhat lonely. So let's be mindful of one another's feeling. Let's uplift our partners, you know. Let us cheer them on. Let's be their number one cheerleader, number one fan. You know, sometimes what they're doing, even if you don't believe in it, the passion to which your spouse is doing that thing should rub off on you. Just cheer them on. And, you know, in life we'll learn. We fall, we rise. We fall, we rise. For the fact that you're cheering them and that thing did not come through does not mean you should now say, I told you so. Or, you know, start bombarding them with words that can bring them down. We don't want that. Instead, you can actually say, let's look at it. Why did it fail? Why did it not work out? Because I see your passion concerning this thing. Look at it together critically. You might just see what you missed the first time and help your spouse to achieving this goal. So it's very important. Be each other's cheerleader. You know, be each other's cheerleader. I've been through series myself. You'll be wondering, like, okay, just calm down. You know, even you yourself, you're not as excited as your spouse. That's how it should be. Somebody's looking out for you. So these are kind of basic rules. There's so many, like I said, that should guide in a marriage relationship. You know, it's very important we just don't sit down and just assume our spouse knows what's in our mind, you know, especially for people who's been married for several years. You've kind of grown on each other and you just feel, oh, they know. Sometimes they say couples will finish their sentences, you know, when one is speaking, the other one will finish their sentence. Oh my God, they're so close. That means they've really bonded. But then what happens when they have issues? You know, are they easy to sit down and talk about these things? It's very good to highlight these rules in marriage relationships so that we can be there for one another. Like I said, life has its own challenges. We don't want to leave our spouse and say, okay, because you did this, you're suffering the consequences. That is not the kind of spouse we ought to be to one another. So I'll just say that there are rules that we have to put in place when we're going into a marriage relationship, and we have to go by them. We have to commit to them. We have to respect one another, trust one another, build that trust. Sometimes, you know, you can lie to your spouse, but you can't lie to yourself. you know that you're not in this journey alone. It's not just about you. It's about two people coming together to be one. Thanks, Apple, for joining. Thank you so much. Like I said, I'm gonna bring some people on just to share your views. Do you think there are rules in marriage relationship, or should there be rules? And then these rules, do you reckon if people commit to it? And then do you reckon that people commit to it genuinely, or maybe just for what they can get out of it? You're welcome, So. Thanks, Grace. Thank you so much for joining. We're talking about rules in marriage relationship. And like I said, I'm looking at it from faith-based, but not one-sided, because I'm here to learn from all of us. What works for me might not work for you fully, or what works for you might not work for me, but I can always speak one or two things. If it's worked for you, there's bound to be something, others also can pick from as well. So I'll take a short break and let's tap. I'll take a break to tap. We'll tap. Thank you so much, Aniba. Thanks for joining in. Let's tap. Let's share this live. I want to see, let's share to at least 20 people from our contacts. Thank you, Waxil. Thanks for joining. Oh, world. Light, let the dawn of a new day bring understanding and love. Oh, inside. Let's stop. Thank you for joining, Mr. and Mrs. Williams. Thanks for joining. So, like I said, all of these rules, they're basic rules that I feel can work for every marriage relationship all over the world. There is 1,000,001 rules that we can put in place. Sometimes when couples come together in a function and they're talking about certain things, you just be wondering, oh my God, is this what you would do if this were to happen? And you'll be wondering, you never thought of that, or you never found yourself in that situation. Or maybe, who knows, later on in life, in marriage, you're still going to go through that relationship challenges, and you'll remember what this person said. Oh, thank you for the heart, me. Thank you. What this person said, oh, you might actually take to this idea and see whether it will work. No man knows it all. No man is a bundle of knowledge. We're here to learn from one another. We're here to share. So what are the rules that has worked for you in your marriage? Okay, and what has happened to these rules? What happens to them when they're broken? I really want to know. Like I said, I've shared a few of mine. Like I said, there's still more, but I want to hear from you. So if you have something to say, this is not a battlefield. This space is not for battles or challenges in that form. We're here to share experiences. We're here to rub minds. We're here to learn from one another. Thank you so much, Mary. I really appreciate it. Thanks for liking the live. Thank you, Mrs. Williams. Thank you so much for coming in. So, what are the rules that has worked for you in your marriage? What are the rules? Are there rules to even start with, or everybody's living life and we know to behave? I really want to know. So if you have something to share with us, let me bring you up and see what you have to share. For me, one of the things is communication, and I found that as we grow in the marriage, it kind of changes, the dynamics to it kind of changes. I don't know about yours. What has worked for you? And what are the rules? Do you have rules? Do you go by them at all times, or just when you feel like? Best Divine Dishes too, thanks for joining. Mrs. Williams, you're welcome. Mary A, thanks for joining today. So maybe you'll help me open the floor for this discussion, and then we'll take it from there. If you have something to share with us today, I'd like to invite you to the box. Let's hear from you. Do you think there should be rules in marriage relationship? Should there be rules? And if there are rules, what happens when these rules are broken? I'm wondering. Thank you, Linda Lucky, for liking the live. You're welcome, my dear sister. Mrs. Williams, I know you're full of wisdom. Thank you so much for always coming. You're welcome. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. Good
Oh, much
evening.
love. You're welcome. Thank you so much for joining. So I don't know
Thank
if you
you.
joined from the beginning.
Um,
Okay, so
Ladies.
the topic today is the rules of marriage or rules in marriage. Okay, and I because it's so versed this topic, and I said I will just speak about a few points where if you're in Europe, Asia, Africa, wherever, these ones they are just rules. And I talked about mutual respect. You know, in every marriage, whatever the culture, whatever the race, everybody wants mutual respect. And we talked about effective communication, commitment. So an Asian husband wants the Asian wife to commit to them. So it really doesn't matter wherever you are in the world. Everybody would love commitment. And now I talked about trust and transparency. I talked about compromise and collaboration because sometimes we may not see eye to eye. That shouldn't be the end of the marriage relationship. So we need to compromise and collaborate with one another. And I also talk about support and encouragement. I don't know if you have more rules that you feel okay we can mention or
Okay. Um. Sorry, sis. You know where I am. I can't talk that much. I think
okay,
we
fine.
talked about it this morning, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But the one I'll go for that
Hmm.
I know that it's very, 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 very important in marriage is communication.
Hmm.
Yeah, communication. Immediately you mentioned that, yes. I'm like, that's fine because sometimes the other part of ourselves, we believe they should know, like without saying anything.
Yeah.
It's just like a couple and then believing, oh, my husband believing I should know where he is without telling me. Or as a wife, you're supposed to know where I am going
Hmm.
without me communicating where I am going, what I'm doing. So, communication is very, very important in relationship, in marriage, and then the trust as well. I tell people when you don't trust your partner or there's I don't see anything that you're waiting for
Hmm.
because that can lead to you giving yourself heart attack or thinking unnecessarily, you know. But when there is a good communication skill in your relationship, it makes it more easier. For example, okay, Mr. John is going to lead you. So
Hello,
immediately,
Fumi. Good evening. I'm going to mute myself
Okay, thank
because
you.
I'm over the house.
Okay,
So when
okay.
I'm ready, I will let you know.
Oh,
Okay?
thank you, Linda. Thank you. Sorry, ma'am. Oh, okay.
sorry.
Thank you, ma'am.
That's fine. So, when you are leaving where you're going, let's say you said you're going to Manchester, for
Yeah.
example, then you get to Manchester, I met Sister Fumi, and I said, okay, before I follow Sister Fumi to go and meet with Jenny, courtesy demand me to message
Yeah.
my husband that I'm leaving Sister Fumi's place now. She want me to go with her to Mr. John or Sister Yemi.
Yeah.
So now he knows where you're going to. Then when you are leaving that place as well, you still need to communicate it so
Hmm.
that because that is the smallest things that people that cause some argument,
Yeah.
especially I don't want to mention maybe male or female is in both. So
Either way.
now you now get back at night and your husband is saying, where have you been? He said, you should know now, I went to Sister Fumi. Are you still in Sister Fumi till 1 midnight?
Wow.
But by even if you can't call, you can just be messaging. We are now leaving Manchester. We're going to Birmingham. Oh, now we're in Birmingham. Oh, hello, honey. We're leaving Birmingham. We're going to Dagenham. You just giving information. When you get home, he's just going to be asking, wow, you have a long day today.
Hmm.
So you don't need to explain yourself.
Hmm.
Just text message, WhatsApp. It has done the job. Then that will reduce the argument that's supposed to happen. But because we don't want to explain ourselves, we believe I'm a grown now. a married woman, why would I be telling my husband I'm going here, I'm going there? And then this can lead to argument. And also men as well, believing I'm a man of the home. Why will you be asking me where have I been? You're not communicating.
Yes.
And all those little things in marriage matters a lot,
Mm-hmm.
because you can't just wake up dressed up, go to work, from work you just disappear and come back at night. Then you want the woman in the house to believe it is well, or you want the man to believe, your husband believe, okay, he knows you resume 9, you finish 5, so
Yeah.
why are you coming back 2 a.m.? Even if there is traffic, just message, I'm on my way back home, there's traffic on the road.
Mm.
That has sorted some issue. And also, in communication as well, you expect your partner to know that you don't have money. How is she gonna know if you're
Mm.
not talking?
That's key.
Yeah,
Mm.
if you're not talking and you're
Yeah.
saying, why are you asking me what I don't have? No, she thought you have received salary.
Mm.
So she thought you are earning £2,000, because before you guys get married, you always take her for shopping, you always take her to,
So what has
Nando's.
changed? Yeah.
Yeah, but now you're married. Just
Mm.
let her know this is what I earn. Then let them communicate. Let there be good transparency. Okay,
Yeah.
the husband will say, "I'm earning 1,500 or £2,000." Let the wife say, "Okay, I'm earning 1,500. That's 3,500. We'll pay rent, we pay bills. This is remaining balance, which is £200. Once the woman knows that the amount in the account is £200, it's not going to ask for D&G or Faragamo.
Mm-hmm.
He
Mm-hmm.
will go to Primark gently,
Yes.
or
Yes.
she too will go to Primark, because he or she will know we can't afford it.
Yeah.
But when one or the other is not communicating, it
Mm.
causes trouble. I know my husband have the money, he just don't want to give me.
Yeah.
That is
Trouble with
assuming.
that.
We are just assuming he doesn't
Yeah.
have it, but because of the ego that I'm a man, so it's trying to prove to you that,
Mm.
yeah, I'm not, if you I don't I'm not giving you. No.
Mm.
Likewise, the woman. I know
Yeah.
my wife, she doesn't like to release her money. She believes, our money, my money is our money, her money is our own money. No, the
I
poor
don't
one is
like
not
that
happy.
statement. I don't like that statement at all.
Yeah. So the
No.
money, she doesn't have it. But because both are not communicating,
Yeah.
that is, and then you know what? When there is lapse in communication, your children, the children take the opportunity.
Mm.
They take the
Mm.
opportunity,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
then,
Sometimes. Yeah.
yeah,
On it.
they pick it up, and then
Mm.
they'll go to mommy and say this, they'll go to daddy and, have their way, because they know that they do not have good communication stuff.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
I would say communication is very, very important. I don't know, yeah, a lot of marriages, books are out there, they'll say, oh, 10 tips, 5 tips. But unfortunately, there is no one that have any how marriage runs.
Mm.
It's
Mm.
only God, and that is why the Bible says, if God did not build the house, the builders had built it in vain.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
communication. Thank you. God bless you, Sister
Thank
Fumi.
you
I really
so much.
appreciate
Thank
you.
you so much. I really, really appreciate you. Like even when I was expressing myself as well with those points, almost each one, involves communication. And just like Mrs. William have said, if it's not done appropriately, or we just take each other for granted, you should know. It's like you expect your spouse to read your mind. I don't understand. Even when they know, I mean, it's still on you to make sure that you communicate right. Because if not, sometimes I hear couples will say, well, they keep malice, or we keep malice, or we don't talk because of this person said something. Communication, if it's not done correctly as well, will affect that relationship. And it's not just even in marriage. When you're dating someone and you're always communicating and the other party is not communicating back to you, how do you intend to build that relationship? How do you intend to express your values, your principles in life? Or maybe you're the type you communicate so much and your spouse is like, oh my goodness, you talk too much or something like that. You need to probably pipe low a bit, meet them at their level so that you don't annoy them as well. So too much of anything is bad and less of it is also bad. It has to be balanced out. Mrs. Williams gave an example. Imagine you just gone off somewhere and you expect your spouse to know where you've gone off to. It doesn't work like that because they'll be worried for your safety. Anything can happen. We've heard of so many stories of even the ones that'll say, oh, I'm going to supermarket to get food, and God forbid something happens. They might be hit by a car or accident. And you know that if my spouse go to the supermarket in less than 2 hours, they're back. And now this is 3 hours, 4 hours, they're not back. You're calling them, they're not picking up, they're not responding. Of course, your heart will be high up there. You'll be worried, until you hear from them before, you're okay. So now imagine he doesn't even know his supermarket. Even if he wants to look for her, the first place he will go to is that supermarket she's gone to. And then even if a third party comes and asks, where did she say she was going? Imagine hadn't said, I don't know. They'll just look at the spouse like, are they responsible at all? So we don't want to make each other look bad. Let's learn to kind of communicate. And if you're not even speaking the same language, there are ways we can communicate. I talked about non-verbal communication. I talked about that. There's verbal, there's non-verbal. You see in a situation, you and your spouse, you do some winking or whatever, they know what you're trying to say. So that also, kind of helps. If you're in the midst of a crowd and you want to communicate with your spouse, you can use things like that. But you would have told each other at home, when I do this, it means this. Not that you're winking and your spouse saying, what's wrong with your eye? You don't want that, like those children who don't understand language would. Okay, thank you. I don't know if Linda is ready to share with us today.
Yeah, sorry. Can I quickly chip in something, sis?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Sorry,
this
Linda.
one is very, very important as well.
Yes, ma'am.
Operating open and honest policy with each
Ah,
other.
that was one of my points as well. Thank you, ma, for
Oh, I didn't know you said
yeah,
that.
open,
Yeah.
honesty. Let me go back to it. Yeah, I said trust and transparency.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
That's why I've been raising my hand. You see, I've been
Oh,
raising
I
my
was
hand. I want to
wondering. I
talk.
was even looking at the person up in the
I want
box.
to
I
talk.
say, I'm getting used to people. Let's tap, tap, tap. Let's share to
Yeah.
people. We're learning
So,
here. I've just learned something.
yeah.
Please.
So, with some people,
Hmm.
they can't live the life of honesty.
Ah,
They will even tell you, I didn't know, I just lied. You know, they can the lying is so comfortable, they feel so comfortable, they don't even, it has become some people's habit,
hmm,
and they were so used to it. Then when they get married, they they can't even be trusted.
hmm.
Like when they said it's raining, just check outside.
Okay,
It's really, really sunny,
I can imagine.
because they find it difficult to be honest with themselves, because they don't trust themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't trust others, and they cannot be trusted as well.
Hmm.
It's, I don't know how to, but when you are so open and honest in your relationship, and a man or woman, the other party acknowledge that, oh my God, you'll be
Hmm.
like a queen. When your
Exactly.
man is talking about you, say, I know my wife, oh, did so person did that? No, she can't do this, she can do this.
Hmm.
Oh, did she say that? You
Hmm.
know, your man can be, he will be able to say what you can do, what you cannot do. And
Hmm.
if you're a man as well, your wife will be able to. And only if you do, if um anything happen, they can be able to speak for each other.
Hmm. That's true. That's true.
Like, don't worry, just give me 2 minutes. I just need to ask my wife. Hello, honey. What, are you sure? Yes, that is what happened. And you will see a man fighting for his wife. Like, no, my wife didn't do that. Because the man knows his wife. He knows what he can do.
Hmm.
He's not going to Maryland and telling the husband is going to Ikeja. It's not in London. Telling the husband, oh, I just want to catch a flight to UK. And she's, at the end of the day, you found out she's in US. They cannot, even to say the truth is so difficult. They can lie about anything. You know, the fake life they're living in when they were single, bringing it into marriage, it's not going to work. So even when you see some men, they'll say, I can't even believe this is the kind of woman I married. She's not honest.
And it's a
He's
painful
not, my
thing.
husband is not honest. You will see, it's still so funny that I remember when we want to do that topic sometime, like years, about last year or something. Some men cannot even leave their phone ringing. They want to have heart attack by running up and down like a chicken.
Wow. What are
Some
they
women
doing?
as well, they're so addicted to their phone. I don't know what they're hiding. You know, because we're not, and then you will see some couples, they're sharing the same phone.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because the phone is ringing, is the wife that will pick hello. Yeah, oh, my husband is in the toilet. Okay, yeah, I'll tell him you call. Oh, yeah, my wife. You can, some wife they will, but no. Why? What are you hiding? What are you running? What? I don't know, you know. And then one day death will come. You let go of everything that you are hiding.
Just
Then
like
the secret will be exposed. For some people, there are secrets exposed while they're still alive.
Lady T.
So let's be, once you are honest, don't say, oh, I'm being the honest one, my husband is not being honest. Oh, I'm the honest husband, my wife is not being honest. You need to have a good communication. You need to have a talk.
Yeah.
Hello, honey, can I have a talk with you? Talk, ask question, tell him, I want to be sincere. I know you lie. I know some people, they won't be able to say, me, I say things the way it is. I'll tell you, I know you are lying.
I mean, saying to your spouse that they're lying, it's a big thing.
To them, no, I'll let him know. All your lying thing, I can say, please, can we start from a clean slate and let me be able to trust you
Yeah, again.
again? Then we can start. Then I'll say, if you cannot tell anyone, even if you do wrong, just tell me. You know, have you ever seen some couples that they know that what one party did was wrong, but they will support each other?
Yeah.
But when they get home, they'll not say, you know what you did?
They will talk it
I
out.
supported you outside yesterday, but I know what you did was wrong. But they will still stand as one. But in case that the other party cannot even, he didn't even know whether my wife stole it or not, or is lying, or she
Because,
did it, or he
yeah,
did it.
yeah,
You can't,
yeah.
because he or her life is full of, uh, you know, lies. And all these fake things. I tell people, if you go online and you're believing what you're seeing there, they are creating content for you guys.
It's not
There
everything.
is no perfect marriage, no perfect relationship. All those ones you are seeing, showing it, making it look very nice, no issue, no problem, they are content creators. They're just creating content for you. They
No,
want you to believe what they are creating. But it's not like that in the world of marriage.
no, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am. One thing I love about this kind of platform is we keep it real. Like she said, there is no perfect marriage. I've been in marriage for 25 years and I've had my good, bad, and ugly days. I'll tell you that. There is no, everybody's just working together to make it work because there's certain things that I didn't know when I was 5 years in the marriage that I got to find out 10 years. Some things I didn't know in 10 years, I got to find out in 15 years. So we're learning. It's a learning process. But that's what we're talking about, these basic rules, because it's the bedrock foundation of any marriage in the world. If you don't trust each other, why are you in that relationship to start with? If you're not open and transparent, you're like Mrs. Williams said, you're hiding things, you know, your spouse will not be at peace, and that is not the aim of marriage, for you to lose your peace. No, we need to be mindful. Thank you, Linda, for liking the live. I really appreciate it. So I'm going to call on Linda. Thank you so much, Mrs. Williams. That is really profound. She mentioned communication and openness, and trustworthiness. You know, it is very key things, the bedrock of building that marriage relationship to work. So Linda, let's hear from you. You're welcome tonight. I hope you finish your hoovering.
Yes, the house, my 3 years old mess everywhere up.
Oh, I'm so
Yeah.
sorry. Well done.
Ah,
See what mothers do, eh?
yeah. That's what mothers do.
No.
So yeah, I wasn't it's about what? Because I was
Yeah, we're
over, I
talking
cannot
about
really.
rules in marriage relationship,
What is
We've
hello?
talked
You want
about
to say hello?
communication. We've
Yeah,
talked
say
about
hello.
Hello.
hello. Oh, are we allowed that? I don't want TikTok to
No,
pick
you
it.
can. They cannot see her video, so
Okay,
yeah,
better.
it's
Thank you,
different.
Silver
Siva
G.
G, how
Hello.
you doing,
Hey.
girl? Hope you are good.
So we're talking about rules in marriage. So
Okay,
I okay, I don't want to give you my points. I want to hear from you. So
of
my
course.
question to you is what are the rules that has worked for you in your own marriage? And then if somebody breaks that rule, whether you or your spouse, what happens when that rule is broken?
Rules. My
Or,
sister.
or
Me, I
there are
don't
no
have rules.
rules.
Oh. I just believe that you just have to understand. In my point of view, in my opinion. Yeah, come, I'm
Evening, Silver
talking.
G. Thanks for coming. Let's tap
I
in. We
know.
want to take it to
In my own
2029.
opinion, I
Yeah.
think we don't have rules. You just have
Oh.
to understand each other to know how to do things. Because I don't think there should be a rules. You understand? When there is understanding, you know that person and you people have been together for so many years. That's my personal opinion. Because I think when you make rules, imagine you break that rules now. It will come to you because it's like you come to an agreement.
Sounds nice.
Agreement is like a contract for me. So
Mm.
it's no, 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 no for me. I believe that when you come to understand, you understand one another before you get married, because marriage is not for children.
Yeah.
It's not for children, and you have to learn how to tolerate one another. That's what make it to work. No one have a perfect relationship.
No.
You can have misunderstanding,
Mhm.
and you just have to know how it work. So
Yeah.
that's my personal and opinion. I don't like rules or rules not contracts at
So
the end
I'm
of
I'm
the day.
trying to understand your submission honestly. And like I said,
Mm,
we're here to learn from one another.
yeah.
So when you say there are no rules, so that means you can go out, you don't tell your husband, or as subtle as that is, I'm trying to understand.
No,
Everybody
that's
just
what I said to you. I said that
Mhm.
you have to understand one another.
Okay.
You cannot come and give me rules. See that this is the rules. It's like for me, it's like a contract. When I break it, it doesn't mean that when you have somewhere going to, you don't have to tell me. Or when I'm going somewhere, I don't have to tell you.
Those are the basic rules we're talking about,
No, no,
I
you
think
rules for me. I understand. The way I understand it is this:
okay.
you sit me down. It's like my children. I give them rules. I sit them down to give them rules of don't do this. If you do this, mommy will not like it. You understand? For
Mm,
me, I tell them not to break the rules. When you break it, or you are punished, no TV for you. You don't go and play in the park. You stay at home with mommy. That's a punishment for them. You understand? That's what me I understand by rules.
okay. Okay.
So rules, yeah. When I mean that, it doesn't mean that when you are going out, you don't have to tell me. Of course, you have to tell me. You have to understand one another.
Yes.
You
Okay.
understand?
Like you said,
But
Linda, maybe because you missed the beginning. So I'll
okay.
just quickly let me just say one or two things so that you have a better understanding. I understand where you're coming from, and from that perspective of your submission. So we talked about some basic rules that any marriage in the world you will find it in there, like mutual respect.
My sister, me, I got them out for. Let me tell you. That's why I'm still telling you. I will still come to my conclusion
Help
about
me to
that.
understand my sister.
Yes, so I will make you to understand. It
Okay.
still come to my own.
Mm,
Because if you have been in a marriage or relationship for 20 something years, you know that is working for you.
yeah.
you know that you people be able to tolerate each other. At times you want to strangle each other, you want to buy each other, but you still understand.
Mm.
You are not just there
Okay, so
because,
I think I'll take from you that understanding is your
yeah,
rule. Yeah, okay.
yes, so understand, yeah, you have to understand me. We make decision together.
Yeah,
I don't
okay.
say by force you have to tell me. You have to come from your mind. Because at times I believe when you force things, that's what bring the problem. You
Okay.
understand? You are
Okay.
trying to make by force, you go tell me, or you spend that money, you must tell me what you use and do. Do you understand? I
Mhm.
know that it's a normal thing I have to know by nature, you have to tell me. You understand? So I don't have to come. But when it comes to you are trying to play me as a fool now, then I will give you what I want to give you. Do
Okay.
you understand me?
Yes, I
So
do.
for
So
me, mine is working for me very well without pressure,
thank God.
without nothing. Yeah.
So I do understand now. So for you is that understanding, which like I
Yes.
said, there's so many, is so many. For somebody, it's something else. For another person, it could be communication. Once we understand each other's language, everything is fine.
Yes,
I
so.
so thank God. So that's another one, understanding. And it's very key. And most homes they run with that because if there's no understanding, you will not even understand to say I do in the first place.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for that contribution,
No
Lynn.
problem.
Thank
See, I
you.
have something to say first before I go. Lady T, what did they do for you? I said I shared the life for you. I don't know say you go show up. How you doing, girl? I hope you are good. One love. I'm going to mute myself.
Thank you so
I'm
much.
going to mute myself now.
Okay. Thank you
Thank
so much,
you.
Linda, for that contribution.
Okay.
Understanding, it's also very key because you don't understand each other. That means you're not on the same level. It might create chaos. Husbands and wife need to understand one another. It's one of the bedrock, of building that foundation, building that strong relationship as well. If your spouse does not understand you when it comes to certain things, there will be chaos if it's not addressed appropriately. Lady T, you're welcome. I'm trying to see. Okay, I think this person is Lady T. You're welcome. Thank you so much for joining Inside with FunmiRoyal this evening. How are you today?
Yeah, hello, good evening.
Good evening. Nice to have you here.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So I don't know how much of what we're talking about you were able to catch, and if you have any contributions or a question. So we're talking about the rules in marriage. There are certain rules that work for any marriage anywhere in the world. We talked about mutual respect, effective communication, commitment to one another, trust and being transparent with one another, compromising with one another, collaborating with one another, supporting and encouraging one another. So I know there's a million and one out there. So my question now to people is, what are the rules that has worked for you in your marriage? And thank God Linda mentioned one of the things that hasn't come up here for me, but it's part of it. I know if I don't have an understanding with my husband, I don't think I'll even be here today, so to say. So what are your takes about this? What other rules do you reckon that people listening out there thinking about marriage or are in marriage can also, take into their relationship?
Yeah, good evening once more. I'm a bit tired anyway. I didn't
Oh,
want it to
I
come
can
up.
hear that from your
You can
voice.
see it from my voice here.
Yeah.
Hello, Linda, my Wahala friend.
Hello,
Your,
girl.
your
How you
TikTok buddy.
doing?
Yeah, I came through your invite. I was
Oh,
watching
thank
your
you
video.
so much. Thank you.
Yeah, I didn't
Oh,
even I was thinking it's a video. When I just click it, I came here
okay.
direct.
Yes, I share it to you.
Yeah, exactly. But I wanted to just relax because I drove so long way today. I'm a bit tired.
Oh, sorry to
Anyway, let
hear.
me just say a quick throw one or two things. I've known my since 1999. It has
Wow.
been up and down. There is no relationship that is perfect. You have
Yeah.
to fail to learn.
Mm,
You know, I think in any home there must be rule. Any home that there is no rule, I think everybody will do zigzagly. For my own, anyway,
mm.
Linda own, I had it very well. Marriage is something we are
Understanding.
all different, and
Yeah.
Everybody just need to do it the way it works for he or she. It can work for you your own way. If I try to copy your way and apply it to my own way, it might not work for me. So I think for a man and a woman to stay 20 above, there must be something strong that is binding them.
Yeah.
Apart from the love of God, there is something called understanding, tolerance. I think
Yes.
I will use my own tolerance. God cannot give you something you cannot overcome, a problem that you cannot overcome. So that means when you are going into relationship, God knows how you are.
Yeah.
When you pray, God will give you who can tolerate.
Mm.
In my own case, I think tolerance and understanding is what is helping us. And I'll use the word also transparency somehow.
Mm.
I have a partner that is too transparent that I keep on saying, what is this?
Mm.
My own is I was trying to, it's not my way, but he love it and it works. So I just need to, it's not, that kind of, it's not that he wants to take what you have from you, but he wants to know.
To know,
Just
yeah.
let it just be open and, he's ready to
Transparency.
open up, something like that.
Yeah.
So in the beginning, for you to be able to cope 100% in the relationship,
Mm.
you both of you have to battle out so many things. And now when you know all those things
Yeah.
that he doesn't like, you doesn't like, you put them together, your marriage begin to work. So understanding is very, very important. I will use also respect. You
Mm.
know, a relationship that there is no respect,
Mm.
men especially, they love it. They like it. They like being
Yes.
respect. My own doesn't like you to let it be joke or no joke. He doesn't like talking down on him in
Mm.
any person's front. So I give him that
Yeah.
because that is what let me just say there are things your own person, your partner like. Even if it's not what you were brought up with or what you
Exactly.
saw,
Exactly.
it's not
Mm.
always easy anyway because everybody,
Definitely.
we came out from different backgrounds.
Definitely.
So when we now come to meet a man or a woman, we struggle a lot with many things. Maybe when you were growing up, you see your mom slap your father. You come to
Right.
your own home, you cannot want to do that because your partner will not, that one doesn't, where he came from, they don't talk on man. So,
Mm-mm.
that is why marriage is not all that too easy because we have different background. What you saw when you were growing up can affect you when you go into your
It would
marriage. So
even
that is
shape
why,
you. Yes.
yeah, that is why a lot of struggling, people are struggling in marriages. It's not that they don't love each other, they love themselves, but the different background make it so difficult that you struggle too much. If
Mm.
the grace of God is not there, you will divorce because you cannot cope. It's like when you grow up, someone is imposing, you have to do this. This is the way I want it. You will want to tell the person where I came from, they don't do it like this. You want it or not, or we quit. So if one person don't want to dobale for the other one, they
My way
will
or the
continue to
highway.
dance.
Yeah.
Yes, the problem will come up. So understanding is the key. Number one, respecting each other's opinion. Don't
Mm.
think your own is the best. It works
No.
for me anyway. Try to listen to the other person, even though what he's saying is stupid or not. Listen, give listening ear. Allow the person to vomit everything before you say your own.
Yes.
Transparency, just let everything be open. When they call you and tell you your husband, they saw him cutting palm tree, you can say yes, he can do it, or
Mm.
no, he cannot do it.
Mm.
you know it really works. So I'm saying all these things, it works for me, it might not work for you. Your own, you might open up, it still hit your head, so you tight up. So it depends on what works for you. So if you know what works for you, you do it. And before you will know what works for you, 5 years will be up and down, or
I'm
even 10
telling you.
years can be up and
It's a
down.
school.
so, so I've been I am used to there are some days I will say, did I even see you very well before I entered? Are you sure we are, all those kind of questions will come one day. Are you
Yeah.
sure we really watch ourselves very well before we
Mm.
agree to say we do? And
Mm.
after said and done too, you will just see breathe in and breathe down and say, okay, let me just accept this way. Let me walk towards perfection and let me kuku mend to your way. The man also will say, okay, this is not the way I wanted it, but let me mend to your way. You know, like that. Before you know, you will see yourself 30 years, 50 years into the relationship. You just need to tolerate. Don't
Voilà.
claim too much right.
Mm.
Sometimes you know that the thing is not even, you just need to agree. There are some kind, I don't know, some people say sorry just to say sorry, to let peace reign. There are things in marriage you don't need to put your master degree inside there. Just put your
If
illiteracy into
only.
it. For it to
It works that
if you
way.
begin to if you begin to crack your Queen's English and your certificate degree inside, the marriage will collapse.
I know.
So that is it. So I just,
Mm.
in conclusion, understanding,
Mm. Respect.
respect, transparency,
Mm.
acknowledging one another, take him how he is, he speaks good English or not, you are satisfied. A lot of things. In short, this matter, if you want to talk about marriage, it's a very deep and long topic
It
that,
is. That's why
you
we're
know,
here. So we'll take it one after the other.
it's so,
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 so that, oh my
it's a,
goodness, we can.
it's a thing that when you start saying all these things and you break it, if I want to bring one word and break it into pieces, that
Mm.
means it will take me too long time.
In fact,
When you have gone
I
into
will grow old.
yeah, when you have gone into the journey and you see people that are
Mm.
coming up, it's worth to sit them down and lecture them
Mm.
and to
Yes.
let them know that you are seeing these people smiling,
Mm.
kissing. Yesterday was shouting, slapping, and they came to understanding and kissing and holding together. They have
Yeah.
to know the step by step into this thing. They have to know, it's a very, very deep topic that it can take 1 month to emphasize,
In fact,
emphasize, and
more
yeah,
than, because we
yeah,
cannot exhaust it. That's why it's always good when people come together to share their experience. Thank you so much, Lady T, for that contribution.
yeah.
It's like people are in the FYP, they're listening. I know that. And thanks to everyone that has joined me tonight. Thank you all. Evangelist, thank you so much. It's amazing. There's so many aspects to marriage that even me, when I was going into it years back, I didn't have a clue certain things. I'm telling you, because the truth is, even if you go to a school before you come to marry, you will find something new and then you will have to deal with it. Do you understand? So there is no one way street, there's no one way solution. We keep, like, I think it was Lady T that started off by saying, we keep falling and rising, keep falling, learning. Imagine, they say all other institution, you go to the institution, you learn, they train you, you do exams, you pass it. If you pass it, they will give you certificate and say, off you go, you're good, you're a pro at this. But marriage, you will go there. The day you say I do, you collect certificates, and then they will not send you to the school of marriage. It's like somebody is trusting you that this certificate we've given you, we know you can do it. But then, how many people actually did it? How many people are doing it or even are doing it right? There is no one book to say, okay, this is the book of marriage. In fact, anything you need, the life itself is a book. So as you wake up each season, new things, new challenges will come, and you just have to face it together. Together, you can achieve more. But I think I'll still pick on that communication. A lack of communication easily breaks down a home. When one is thinking this way and they're not voicing what they're saying, there's no transparency, as Lady T have just said, it will affect a lot of things. I wouldn't want to go into marriage knowing well that I'm going to lose my peace. Nobody thinks they're going into marriage to lose their peace, but something will come to challenge that peace. either will use your spouse against you or yourself against your spouse. And if you don't know to come together to identify and sit together and say, let us understand one another so that this chaos will not break us apart. And it's even another challenge altogether when children start coming into this marriage we're talking about.
Okay, I was
So,
gifted here. Sorry to cut you. Someone came to gift me.
oh, Lady T, well, thank you to the gifter. Thank you so much.
I
We
didn't
really
even know
appreciate
about
you.
it. Thank you very much, Evangelist. I didn't
Oh,
even know.
yeah.
Thank you. I really appreciate.
Thank you so much, Evangelist. You see the love. Thank you so much. God bless you, sir. So, like we're saying, Spice, you're welcome. I've been seeing you in and out there. So, thanks for joining. I don't know if you have anything to add to it, Spice. Mary, I'm coming to you soon. Sorry, before Spice comes on, I know we're still in good time. I have a puzzle. I always come with a puzzle. And this puzzle is been from last week and nobody got the answer. So today I will bring my puzzle now. Let's start thinking about it so that whoever gets my puzzle, I say I love donuts. I'll give you a donut and 2 ice creams so you can chill for the evening, okay? So my puzzle, I'll say it and then I'll come to you, Spice. My puzzle tonight is, what was Eve? Remember Adam and Eve in the Bible? What was Eve's favorite food? What was Eve's favorite food? A lot of people attempted last week, but they didn't get it right. So I want to see if there will be a winner today. Yes. Thank you, manager, for putting that up. What was Eve's favorite food? So if you know the answer, type it in, or if you want to come up and then we can talk about it. Let's see if you're right. So you get a donut and 2 ice creams tonight just to chillax for the evening. So I'm coming to you, Spice. We've been talking about this. Even if you're not in a marriage relationship, you have a fiance or whoever, and what are your rules that you guys are talking about? This is how we'll build our home or whatever it is. We're here to learn. Lady T mentioned something there that, look, it's like a school of learning. You don't know all the answers. So even if we sit here for 100 years and tell you what marriage, you will still never get everything until when you go into it and you find out that things are just happening and you have to deal with it as you go along. Otherwise, it will break before it even starts to being built. So, Spice, do you have something to say today? You want to share your views?
Yeah, I have a very brief contribution to make. Although I'm not yet married,
Okay.
but I'm believing God shortly.
Amen. Amen.
It's a prayer point, so I should just say amen to that. Basically, what I came out from a broken home, and I know what it feels like as a child growing up from that kind of environment. You there are some certain things that you learn in the hard way because of the kind of home you're being brought up out from.
Yeah.
So from all the things I've heard so far, there's nothing that I've not learned. As much as they are even talking, I was actually jotting. But there's one thing I overheard of, no, I've not practicalized it, and I feel I should share it. And
Okay.
that word is being practical with one another. I heard it, and I feel it blesses my heart. And being practical, the person that was saying it, he said, if you're angry, show it you're angry. Show that you're angry. Don't pretend.
Yeah.
Don't pretend that your everything is okay when you're dying on the inside. The fact that you voice
Transparency.
out, yes, the fact that you're voicing out does not mean you want everything to scatter, or to the marriage to scatter. You're voicing out based on the fact that you want to everything to be settled. So I think that one alone is something I would want to share. If you're hot, practicalize your hot. No,
Communication.
I'm not saying carry by practicalizing it, carry a hammer and hit on the man, or use basin on the woman. As in, show that you're hot, because I think most mothers of those days, because of the kind of things they harbor inside, they tend to just endure so much that they, in fact, they will tell you, I am in this marriage because of my children. They endure a lot inside them. Is now basically now that you see women voicing out. Those days is hard. They will not come out and say it. They will not even want to discuss it with anybody. In fact, if they are going through so many things, is maybe family members that would come and do enough settling. And from the African home we come from, whether they come for the settling, they will still tell you the man is right, and you see the woman dying in silence. But being practical enough to show that, oh, I'm being hurt, but the fact that I'm being hurt does not mean I want out. I just want you to know where you're wrong
Yes.
and where I am wrong. Let's talk it through. So that's all. Thank you so much for
Thank
having
you
me.
so much. Thank you, Spice, for that. Honestly, it's profound. Being practical. Don't be transparent. I think it was Mrs. Williams that said that as well. Be transparent with one another. And like I said, we don't want to assume your spouse knows what is going on. Assumptions kills. You have to say it out. Otherwise, you know the way we're wired as a man, as women, we're differently wired. What a man is thinking, the woman is not thinking. What the woman is thinking, the man is not thinking. Recently, all I've been hearing is women love attention or attention, men love respect, men love respect. But we know that. But if you're not getting it and you're hurt, are you expressing that hurt to your spouse to say, I'm not getting this attention or I'm not getting this respect? You know, it still boils down now again to communication. So everything is kind of interwoven. Transparency. How do you show that? Communication. So thank you so much. But the practicality is a real life thing. You're in marriage. You have to be a practical person. Otherwise, you're leaving your spouse to do work. It's work. Because they'll try to say, this person doesn't talk. What could be wrong with them? They're just quiet all of a sudden. Or they're not eating. And they try to come and say, are you okay? You know? And then you still expect that they will know what is wrong with you. Let's say it out. Let's be practical. Let's help one another so that there'll be peace in that home. So there'll be love being shown. There'll be peace in that home, most especially because all of these things we're mentioning, if it's missing, the piece is missing, so to say. It was Linda Lucky said, understanding. If the spouse or your spouse does not understand you, there will be lack of peace in that home because the person will be angry and all of that. So we need to be mindful. How are we treating this? If you're looking for a spouse, are you ready mentally to trust, to respect, to compromise? And Spice said we all grew up different background. We have different ideas. No matter what, even if you go to the same university, you do the same course. The way you grew up has shaped you to some extent. There's only so much that this knowledge can reshape you, so to say. You're building on what was already. So there will still be something this person will do and you wonder. Like someone said, it doesn't mean you don't love them, but you're hurting. But you need to say it out. Be practical. Say it out. Let them know what is wrong with you. Before I call, I'm not sure who is that person on there. Okay, it's the manager. So my puzzle for today, I'm not sure. I don't know, Mary, have you seen anyone, before I call you up, have you seen anyone attempting my puzzle? Let's put it on again. Please help me to put it up again. What was Eve's favorite food? Anybody attempting that tonight? I'm not going to bring it next week. So if you don't get it today, I will tell us the answer and I will...
Which Eve? Eve in the Bible?
Eve in the Bible. Adam's wife. What was her favorite food?
Is it not apple?
It's not apple. Had loads of apple.
Not be apple.
No.
Not the apple. Now we know, eh?
That it wasn't her favorite because it put her in trouble, Seth. No.
Okay, fish and rice.
You did guess.
Is she
You
from
need more go to read Bible now to know what it be Eve favorite food.
No, that's not the answer. No, right?
There is no.
Okay, that's but I have the answer. So
Ah,
if any somebody is thinking there, what was Eve's favorite food? We all remember Adam and Eve in the Bible. Eve had a favorite food. I'm gonna tell you, but I will still have time. We'll still have time. Let people think about it. Or I see Linda, she's quickly reading her Bible. Where is it? It's somewhere in Genesis. That's all I can say. In the book of Genesis, the answer is there somewhere. What was Eve's favorite food? So I'll keep my donuts because I love my donuts, and then we'll take it from there. So all these rules, before we leave tonight, I want us to kind of balance it in a way. Like we come up with these rules or guidance or guidelines to help us. And we know, even I know that I've broken, when they say China breaks, I have broken.
Fumi, please, let me tell you, if favorite food, it's fruit now. Fruit.
No,
Now fruit, oh. Huh.
no. Where, which chapter did you just read that now, Linda?
It's fruit.
Yeah, is somebody talking? It's very funny. Apple is fruit. I said no, it's not apple. It's not fruits. And you said fish and rice. No, maybe spice can help us. So we'll put spice into it. I don't know. Anyone in my panel, if you know, please help me look out for people responding on the chat. If there's anybody typing something, I may have missed it, but my eyes would have caught it because spots on, I would have caught it. So what was Eve's favorite food? If you can get that, you get a donut and 2 ice cream to relax for the evening. Otherwise, I'm home anyways. I'll eat my donuts myself. Spy says she's still thinking. Okay, keep thinking. Okay. So, as we're talking, so to balance this, we know that these guidelines are there to kind of help us so that we build a strong relationship with one another and also pass on good bedrock rules, if you must say, to our children. Because I said once children start coming into the picture, we need to not even be mindful of these rules. If you say you're not going to lie or you're going to be trustworthy, and even if your children could pick that, mommy is not trustworthy here or daddy is not trustworthy here, and because they're children, they might not be able to face you, but they've seen this act and you just carry on like this, your spouse should understand that you just carry on like that. What are we teaching those children? Because they may just not have the boldness to face you, to challenge you, or to ask questions. But in a way, I trust these Gen Zs of today. They will ask questions, and then what will you tell them? Will you tell them that, look, I know it seemed like I lied, or I know I lied. I've called mommy to apologize. Teach them the right thing. Don't just brush it aside, because one day they are husbands to be, they are wives to be. They're learning from you because you're the first example they will know in life. And unfortunately, Linda said, or is it Linda? Somebody said they're from a broken home. I'm from a broken home as well. And I wouldn't want that for my children. So we have to try as much, communicate, be trustworthy, transparent. We fall, we rise, and all of that just to keep it together. And we'll teach our children the good, the bad, ugly, how we handle things, how best we can handle things. And sometimes we talk about it. It's always key so that we have this marriage union working well. It's a good thing. And I always say to people, God has created everything and he said it was good. For the fact that we're not experiencing good marriage, what does that tell us? It means maybe we are not doing what is expected of us. And that's why it seems, quote and unquote, maybe it's not good. Oh, thank you. Linda, you won't tell me the answer. Are you leaving? But thank you for
Fruit,
coming.
oh, since you don't want to give us donuts, me, I'll go find donut for another place.
It is well. Thank you so much. Thank you,
No
Linda. I
problem.
really
You're
appreciate.
welcome.
I
Okay,
hope
bye, everyone.
you get the answer later. I'm going to tell us the answer before I close the live.
Okay, Lady T.
I want to see Baba everyone.
Oh, yeah, say bye-bye, everyone.
Baba everyone.
Bye. Bye. Thanks for coming with mommy.
Lady T, you call me, tell me what will be the answer. I beg. Lady T will call me
Okay,
and tell me.
Hello, Papa Diva. You're welcome. Oh my good. I don't know how you do it.
Diva,
So
why are you late? It's not you are coming. Bye bye. Linda is
no,
going.
the time
No,
difference. I
he's
really
not.
appreciate.
He's not.
Thank you. Thank you. So I'll repeat my question again. What was Eve's favorite food? People have said apple, so please don't even bother typing apple. It's not apple. I think Diva was here last week. Maybe she's coming to give us the answer today. I don't know. So let's still crack on and see how we go. But I will tell us the answer today. I'm not leaving it till next week. But if you can get it, hi Papa Diva. If you can get it, you get a donut and 2 ice creams today. If you get it, type your answer in. We will catch you and we would be in touch. No. No apple, no fruits. No. What was Eve's favorite food? Hi, Papa Diva. You're welcome. I want to believe you have our answer for today. So, Papa Diva, I just cited you, so I don't know if you've been watching from the FYP, if you've heard what we've been talking about. And on Thursdays, I come and talk about, stuff in marriage and relationships. Whether you're married, you're planning to get married, or you've set the date already, it's just to help us think deeper. Certain things we don't like. For me, certain things my mind was not even thinking at all when I was planning my wedding and things like that. I got to know them in the marriage. You get to go to the school and start learning. There is no going back because I have certificate and somebody is rooting for me. I'm pro. That's why they gave me that certificate, because they know I can do it. So Diva, you're welcome. We're talking about rules in marriage, and we mentioned quite a number, and we asked people to share what has worked. If they're in a marriage relationship, what has worked, or if you have any other highlights you want to share with us that can work. We talked about commitment, effective communication, mutual respect, trust and transparency, compromise and collaborations. And we talked about support and encouragement, towards one another. So I don't know if you have more to add or you want to share an experience. And then we asked as well, let's see, what are the rules that has worked for you if you're in a marriage relationship, and when these rules get broken, what happens? So Diva, you can take it away. I'm coming back to you, Mary. Thank you for joining.
Hello,
Let's tap, tap,
everyone.
tap, please. Let's get into 20K likes, please. I'm talking to you. Thank you. Diva, are you still there? I think
Hi,
there is.
everyone.
Hi, how are you?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm at work, so I'll be very quick.
Okay. Thank you all. Thank you so much for joining.
Okay, so I think you have mentioned like everything that works out in a marriage. But I think one that has been left out is like each of you should be able to anticipate each other's needs.
Okay. Thank you for
Yeah,
that.
each of you should be able, you should be able to know, you should be able to know what your husband needs and just surprise him. And your husband should also be able to know what you need as his wife, what you like, what makes you happy, and ensure that it's in place or surprise you with that. And then, oh my God, you've mentioned like everything, like
Oh,
everything. Another thing that works out is this surprises, like someone takes you for dinner, organizes a dinner
oh,
somewhere, or
okay.
during your birthday, he or she just surprises you, takes you out without even you knowing he's taking you for a place that he has already informed the waiters that, oh, my wife is having a birthday, and I want you to set up a table that will be in the mood of birthday, and so that he surprises you when he takes you out for lunch, or he tells you, I want you to accompany me somewhere, or you can be the one telling him you want him to accompany you somewhere, and you just take him to that environment where he least expected. So that also makes him feel you value him, you care about him, and you're out to make him happy, because happiness is what matters in marriage,
Oh,
and
yes. It's very key.
happiness is us to make it. Yeah, it's us to make it in marriage. So when someone surprises you with such things, it rekindles even the fire that once existed between you. So those are the things that we ignore, but they really, really work out. They really, really work out. And then
But Diva,
also,
some
okay,
spouse
I think
they
that
don't
falls
like
under,
surprises.
who
Did you hear
doesn't
me?
like surprises?
Ah, not everybody.
Who doesn't like surprises?
Can you hear
I
me?
thought everyone likes surprises. Oh my God, if he doesn't like surprises, yes. Hello,
Yeah, I can hear you.
you can hear me.
Yes.
Yes, I'm saying if he doesn't like surprises, then do it at home. Just set up a play in the dining room. Set up a dining room for him. If he doesn't
Oh.
like surprises, so he will have it. He will have it whether he likes it or not at home.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
there's a way you can set up. Yeah, you're at your dining room.
yeah, okay. I was gonna
And
say
change
that.
things just to favor him. Yes.
Yeah, you have to know what your spouse
So
likes.
yeah,
Yeah.
mm,
Okay, thank you. So
so that
are you
when he
gonna
comes
are
home,
you
he just finds things set. I
Mary
am
said
saying, I was saying so that when he,
Eve, sorry to cut you.
when
Mary said Eve was a vegetarian. No, no, she wasn't. Trust me, she wasn't. Was it not Adam naming all the animals? So who was eating all those animals? No. I know there were loads of grasses, what have you. No, she wasn't. That's wrong. So sorry, Diva, please carry on. Yes, are you still
what
there?
was I saying? Yeah, I was saying,
You said
yes,
we've
I'm still
mentioned
here.
it, and you mentioned that you can surprise your spouse, on occasions and things like that.
Yeah, so if he doesn't like surprises, you do a special setup at home, just to celebrate him. And you tell your kids when he comes back, we will just surprise him with happy birthday. You sing to him with your kids, and you direct him to the table, and you serve him with the best food that he likes, his favorites.
I think thank you so much for saying that. It just popped in my head now. One of the things that, would help in the marriage as well is if you're each other's friends, like you can play with one another, tickle one another. Nobody's too old to play with their spouse. I don't want to believe that. What do you reckon?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. But I don't know why as Africans, I think that still works in the Western world, but in Africa, very few couples still do that, because I don't know why we believe that once we get married and we start getting kids, our attention goes to the kids. You no longer hug the way you used to hug with this man when he's leaving and when he comes back from work. You only meet in bed. It just becomes a bed thing and nothing else. You can't even sit with your husband when he's giving dinner.
Thank you. Well, I
I
hear
don't know why
you.
it's so common with us Africans.
I think it's our
It's so common with
upbringing.
us Africans.
I think it's our upbringing. Can you
Some
remember seeing
couples,
your
some
parents holding
couples,
hands and walking down the market road or the farm? Did you?
oh my God.
No, no, no,
Yeah, by the way,
seriously.
some couples even think that when they hug in front of their kids, it's an abomination.
No, no. But there is a lifestyle that we're not used to per se. But now you see that a lot of things are being modernized. People watch movies or what have you, they see these things. And it doesn't still mean they're going to do it. No. What would it? I mean, I don't see anything wrong in it. Holding hands and walking, take a walk or something, or kissing in front of your children. They came somehow. Did they not come through somehow? So those things. I just want to think it's our culture, really, because I'm even trying to think back now. Exactly. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So maybe it's a culture, but it can always be changed. For the fact that a man is holding his wife walking down the street doesn't make him, I don't know, I don't want to assume what could be going on in our mind. And likewise, I've seen couples, especially elderly ones, of different race, they do walk and hold hands, what have you. So maybe we need to change that mindset. It's okay for you to hug your spouse in front of your children, but everything has boundaries. It's okay to go for a walk with your spouse holding hands, except maybe you're jogging and it's not possible, but walk. When you jog today, walk tomorrow. Hold each other's hands. I remembered some years back, I think I shared this on your live purple maybe. I went for this couples retreat, and there was this puzzle time thing or whatever. And then they needed 3 women to come out, and then the 3 of us, I was hosting that segment. And then I said, you know what, there's no point calling 3 women, we'll call 2 others to join you. I said, oh my god, they'll put me in trouble now. And then they said we were blindfolded, and then they now brought our husbands. So with the touch of the palm, I have to feel the men's palm to know who my husband is. I'm like, Lord have mercy. How is this? And I was trying to picture to kind of juggle my memory. I think I have an understanding or a know-how of what he feels like when I hold him. Hey, I said, Lord, moment of truth. And at last, each man came, I touch and touch and touch. Each of us would have to do the same and find our husband just by that touch of the palm. Luckily, thank God for me. Fortunately for me, I was able to recognize my husband by that touch. And I held on to, I think it's this person. And the other lady, the second person got it right, but the third person, she didn't. In fact, the 2 people she felt was the husband, she didn't get it. Was as simple as that was. Sometimes couple don't even touch. Do you know? They don't know what is your hand soft, is it hard? As simple as that was. And I'm like, when I removed the blindfold, I said, oh, thank God, because the room, everybody was laughing already. The woman that didn't get it, she was feeling so embarrassed, you can imagine. And it doesn't mean, I just hope that nothing happens that night when they got home. Anyways, as simple as that, you can call your spouse as you're watching. If you're watching me now, call your spouse. If you're married, call them. Let me feel your palm. What does it feel like? Is it soft? Is it hard? Because we're talking about all these rules. There's some little things as well that we can do that can kind of foster strong bonding between a husband and wife. Touch their palm. What does it feel like? Pull their cheek. Is it soft? Is it hard? Little things like that, we should start putting that in our relationships because it helps. Hug each other for as long as you could or can. No talking, just come. I do this 5 minutes hug sometimes. Sometimes doesn't last up to 5 minutes, but we'll try hug each other for so long and no talking at all whatsoever. So many things couples can do, but they have to communicate with one another because it's very key. That's other ways you can build that relationship. You can bond together. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. So is anybody getting my puzzle? Anybody getting my puzzle? Thank you. Let's tap. We can still take it up to 15K at least before we go tonight. Thank you. So let me see if you have something to share with us. Marina, I hope I pronounced that right. Thank you so much. So, Mary, are you still there? Thanks, Lady T, for staying. I really appreciate it. Thanks for the support. Mary, are you there? Let's see.
Fumi,
Yes?
one
Yes,
more
I can hear
thing,
you.
one last more thing.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know sometimes the huggings and the holding hands that we do in front of our kids help them understand that this is how they should also be with their future spouses.
Yes,
Because
indeed.
you can
Yeah.
imagine a kid who is brought up seeing
Yeah.
a kid who is brought up seeing his father beat the mother will grow up knowing that wives should be beaten.
Yeah.
He won't
It's
find it
true.
hard hitting his wife.
It's true.
And
It's
the
true.
daughter will also grow up knowing that wives should be beaten by their husbands. So she will not feel it strange when her husband hits her.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
And
true.
those that are brought up in a happy, with a happy couple that portrays love in front of them will
Yeah.
grow up knowing that this is how a husband and wife should love each other.
Very true. Very true.
And kids learn very fast. Kids
Yeah.
learn very fast, and kids copy. Kids copy what they see their parents doing.
You see? So at some point we will have to let go of the African nature, and this is it's how do we put it? Because it shouldn't even culture should not even come into it, you know? And that's why the circle goes like that, just exactly as you've explained it. These children will grow up, and because they don't see when mommy and daddy hold hands, kiss, and all of that, it's not part of their nature. It's not part of their how do I put it? It's not part of them at all. So if they now marry somebody who witnessed that, and they'll just be they might feel irritated, like you're all touchy feely, and this is how this person grew up, but they can't just understand why you're always touchy feely, or so we need to help each other and also help
Yes.
our children. It's not about African culture or whatever. We have people, I don't know, when I was cutting, I remember my husband would hold my hand and walk me to the bus stop, and I see people stare. To be honest with you, they stare. When you're in love, he'll
Yeah,
walk me
because it
to the
looks
bus
strange to
stop,
them.
and then we're like, oh, I don't want it to go. I said, okay, let me to walk you halfway back. I said, I'll miss the bus. He will walk me. We're always holding hands. People will stare. Now that we're even saying it, I remember people will stare, and then we used to laugh like, why have they not seen people holding hands on the streets, like walking? So we need to put more of that on, and God will help us. Sometimes it's like we just complicate things. Simple things, we complicate it. Maybe because of challenges we're faced with, I don't know, that just changes us, who we are. And there's some things some couples may not have done before. Like we're saying now, I wish people can come and just type on here, do you hold hands with your spouse? Do you go for a walk with your spouse? Do you hold hands when you guys? Oh, thanks, Lady T. I know you need to go and rest. Thank you so much for coming by. Thank you. I really appreciate. Have a lovely night rest. God bless you, sis. Thank you. It's amazing. Don't worry. I will find you and tell you the answer to my puzzle. What was Eve's favorite food? Nobody is telling me. So I guess you guys want me to eat my donut myself. Okay. Mary, I meant to come to you, but I see your internet connection is not stable. It keeps throwing you out and bringing you back. Let me see if she's there again. Yeah, it keeps going back and forth. Okay. So thank you guys for joining today. Thank you for liking this live. I really appreciate it. We're going to be leaving very soon. And we've kind of exhausted the topic for today. And I want to believe people, especially watching out there, you've learned one or two things, because it's good. Whether you're planning to get married, whether you're in a marriage relationship, we can always do better. New wine, that's my prayer. New wine for your marriages out there. I know challenges of life would come, throw you left, throw you right, but let it not break that bond you have. You will have misunderstandings, you will have arguments, you will disagree on certain things, but remember to communicate, to still respect one another amidst all of that. It's hard sometimes, because I've been down that road many, many times. I had to kind of self-reflect and say to myself, is that the best you can do for me? Is that the best you can just do? So self-reflection goes a long way. And if you feel your spouse has hurt you, you know them. You know the best time you can get their attention about any matter. you can always relay what you're feeling, and hopefully they would understand. And for me, I would pray about it as well, that God will help them hear me, or God will help us to understand one another's language, especially when there's a disagreement or there's an argument or something like that, because it will come. It will come. Papa Diva, what do you reckon? Arguments will come.
Exactly. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it will come. So, but that shouldn't be the end of it, so to say. I was saying here, was it last week or the? Oh yeah, I think it was last week. When couples will come, maybe they're having issues, and then they will use the phrase irreconcilable differences. I still do not understand that word. Maybe I should go and do research on it, because I don't understand. And I said, as long as it's not DVDA, we're not, if you understand, raising our hands toward one another like that. What is that difference that you cannot reconcile? Is it that you're not talking about it? Or is it that this person will not budge, will not hear you? Or what exactly is it? And it's also amazing. I know people may suffer in silence, but they need to communicate things, because I also struggle to understand why people in 40 years of marriage will just come and call it quits. And there's so many challenges in marriage, but we talking about these things openly. Let's rub minds together. How can I help you? How can you help me to build this loving, long, strong relationship with my spouse? And I said earlier, I don't have all the answers. I'm here to learn as well. And quite a number of people that came into the box tonight, they talked about understanding, they talk about transparency, they talk about respect for one another. Then you don't break the trust. These are kind of bedrock rules that governs and guides a marriage relationship or a premarital relationship. You're in this relationship and you want to get to that marriage level where you walk down at that aisle and say I do, and your spouse will say I do. How do you live life after that? What rules govern you? Is it that everybody just do as it pleases or as they feel it is? Remember, you grew up from different homes, just like Diva was saying, and there will be some perspective that you may not just see eye to eye. It doesn't mean you don't love each other. We disagree to agree to disagree to agree, as they say. So we need to be patient with one another. Be honest with your spouse. Be practical, like Spice said. Let's be practical with one another. So I have about 9 more minutes. I'm going to tell us the answer to my puzzle. Can I answer? Manager, no. No,
Let me
manager.
let me let me try. Let me try before you answer.
Okay, yeah.
Let me guess.
So what was Eve's favorite food? Oh.
Birds of the air and the fruits that hunt seed.
Oh my goodness. I never thought this question would be this hard. I thought by now somebody would have come out to answer me. Okay. I think because I gave manager an expo, I don't know whether I should let him, because nobody's getting it. Okay, let me see. Let me see who is there. Oh, but she's not coming up. I've invited one or two, but maybe they can't talk where they are. I don't know. No, manager, I can't, because I gave you the answer already. And this was our deal. You cannot answer it. So, Purple Diva, is there a drum roll? Let me look for a drum roll. Is there a drum roll? Drum. The answer is ribs. R-I-B-S. Ribs. Because she was taken from Adam's ribs. Clap for me. Somebody clap for me. So, what do you think about that answer, Purple Diva? Are you still there?
Yes, I'm still here.
So, what do you think about that answer?
Yeah,
Did
that's
you hear
what brought
me?
the connection between her and Adam, and that's Yes, can
Yeah,
you hear
that
me?
should give you the clue to the food she loved most. It's not apple because apple put her in trouble. No. So her favorite food was ribs. Ribs. Barbecue spare ribs now. So that's you're coming on this Insight with FunmiRoyal today. Thank you. I want to believe we've learned one or two things. I have learned, and I have to go back and kind of self-reflect on the other points people have mentioned because I agree to help in my marriage relationship as well. Understanding, not that we don't understand each other, but it just lets me know that there are certain things you need to pay attention to, especially, you're still trying to build this. After 25 years, we're still building, trust me. It's not a bed of roses. So understanding, respect for one another, be trustworthy, be open, communicate with one another, and let's not forget the romance as well. Hold each other's hands, hug each other, especially when things are not, that's even the hardest time. Your spouse is upsetting you and you say, okay, can I have a hug? They'll look at you, are you okay? So let's try so that we can build better society at the end of the day, because when children comes in the equation, some of us will have 4, 10, or whatever, how many children, they learn from us. What are we teaching them? Because one day they're going to go into that society and try to build their own home, their own family. And if they've gotten the wrong end of the stick, possibility is that they will live their life, or they will try to live their lives like that. And we don't want to keep passing on the wrong things, the wrong impression, the wrong rules or guidance to these children, because they take it on board. We are their first example, and my prayer is that every home going through one or two challenges, that God in his infinite mercy will give you the wisdom to sit together, to sort things out so you can be happy again in your marriage or in that relationship. So, thank you guys for joining. Thank you for all my gifters. I really appreciate you. Thank you, thank you. Much love from FunmiRoyal. I'm just gonna take maybe like a worship song to end us till 9 p.m. And I wish you a wonderful night rest. Sweet dreams. Don't do what I wouldn't do, as I say now. And then the puzzle again, maybe people are still listening at the FYP, is what was Eve's favorite food? And the answer is ribs. Ribs. Thank you so much. Thank you, manager. I appreciate you. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Papa Diva, for stopping by. I know our time zone is different. I wish you a wonderful evening as well. Thank you to Lady T Spice. I saw
Thank
Denise,
you.
and thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see if I can find my worship. Thank you all so much. Yeah, Lord, I love you. He is good. He is kind. Yeah. Mm. Mm. I say, Jesus, Jesus, sweet Jesus, Jesus, how I love, calling your name. Jesus, Jesus, lily of the valley, Jesus, every day. Your name is the same. How I love, calling your name every day. Your name is the same. How I love, calling that name every day. Your name is the same. How I love, calling your name, your sweet, sweet name every day. Your name is the same. Oh, how I love calling your name every day, every day. Your name is the same. You are the pillar that holds my life and my marriage as well. I say, you are the pillar that holds my life. Ancient of days, you are the pillar that holds my life. Ancient of days, you are the pillar that holds my life. I have confidence in you, Jesus. I have confidence in you, Savior. I have confidence in you anytime, any day. I have confidence in you. Jehovah, I have confidence in you. Jesus, I have confidence in you. Savior, I have confidence in you. Anytime, any day, I have confidence in you. Jehovah, you are the most high. You are the most high God. You are the most high. Thank you guys. You are the most high God. You are the most high. You are the most high God, my Jesus. You are the most high. You are the most high God. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful night rest. Till I come your way again on Monday. This is yours truly, FunmiRoyal, signing out on Inside with FunmiRoyal this beautiful Thursday. God bless you. I'll see you next week. You are the most high.